Okay, I'm going to make a glitter mix, and let's hope this works. This is for Melissa and Jeanette Wise. She's doing a Precious Moments glitter swap. I'm gonna go ahead and turn this down. Sorry, guys. Um, oops. I I'm going to try to tell my story on camera. It's a little longer than than just to write it down as I'm doing this glitter mix. So it is based on my dad. He did pass away in 2001. Seems like a long time, but um, no time's a great time to lose your parent, as anybody knows. I remember asking when I was a kid what his favorite color was, and he told me sky blue purple. I don't have sky blue purple in my glitter, so I'm just gonna go ahead and do like blues and purples, and I guess we'll see how this goes. Um, I'll just say right now, most of these glitters are bought from Pooh's Corner, and Angela Franks sent me some, and I'm sure they're from Pooh anyway, because we both buy most of our glitters from Pooh. So I'm going to go ahead and say most of these are from Pooh. Anyway, I went to school one day, and we'll back up just a little bit farther than that because my dad owned his own business. He was a dealer, a car dealer, semi, anything along those lines. Like he had forklifts, he had, everything you could think of. His business name was Bill's Equipment. My dad's name was William, and everybody called him Bill, obviously. So we lived on our like 5 or 10 acres, I don't even know, of land, and the business was on the land as well. So I left. My dad's always home, because the business is there. And when I came home, my mom was waiting for me, and she sat me down and told me that my dad wasn't dead, but he was in the hospital and he was probably not going to make it. My dad had had an aneurysm first. He went to the nearby hospital here, and they life flighted him to Toledo. On the way there, he had died in the helicopter 2 times. So his organs were already failing, and they knew he wasn't going to make it. But my brother lived in Texas, and he got on, the soonest flight he could get. And we waited for him to get there. As we waited, I wasn't allowed to go into his room. My mom said that my dad was so bloated and everything that had happened, he didn't look like himself, and she didn't want the image in my head for the rest of my life. So I never got to say goodbye. Sorry. My older sister was there, and she's way older, And so she goes in there, and she wasn't in there 5 minutes, and she came out puking and how bad my dad looked. So I'm glad I didn't get to see him like that, but I never got over the fact that I never got to say goodbye. Sorry. My dad was my best friend. I was a daddy's girl. My dad and I used to do all kinds of things together. He bought us both a goat cart. One was a 2-seater, one was a 1-seater, and we used to play on those all the time. And I'm not going to say my daddy was, 30 or, young or anything like that. My dad was previously married to another lady. My mom and dad were never married, but they were together for years. My mom was 30 years younger than my dad. So my dad died in his late 60s. To me, my dad was just my dad. And I remember going places with him, and they would always say, "Oh, is this your granddaughter?" And he's like, "No, this is my daughter." And I never understood why, because he was just my dad to me. I didn't see that he was old, or to most people, too old to have a daughter how old I was. I didn't see that. I just saw my dad. I just saw, the guy I always wanted to see, So now that I'm older, I understand. I get it. And my dad had 4 kids. With his first wife, he had a boy and a girl. My sister and my brother, they're both older. And then with my mom, me and my younger sister. So he had 4 kids total, and the name ends with us. Our last name is Levine. You guys know me as Witter. I'm married. The Levine name comes from Canada, and it ends here, pretty much. My brother is also gay. My older sister has 4 kids, and they're all doing wonderful. I don't see them much, but I live in Ohio and they live in Michigan. We do try to get together, and some things happened after my dad died because my mom and dad weren't married that it kind of separated the family. Like my sister and I haven't talked to my brother since that day. He doesn't come around, he doesn't care. My older sister, however, we talk, and I talk to all my nieces and nephews, and my nieces and nephews. Okay, I'm back, sorry. My camera stopped again randomly. I know I was talking about my sister and my brother anyway. I don't know if I said it or not, but the family name Levine ends here. I guess I should have watched where I left off, huh? I'm sorry. Anyway, on to something happier. Thank you, Melissa, for letting me join this. I seen the video and knew I wanted to join. There are nights, and this is the worst part, that I will go to sleep, and it's the only time that I ever cry in my sleep is when I have a dream about my dad. The worst part is I know I'm dreaming, and I can't wake myself up, and I know that he's not really there in my dream, and I'll wake up crying, and depending on when it is, it's sometimes worse than others, but yeah, not being able to say goodbye is a hard part. But if he would have lived, he would have been a vegetable. He probably wouldn't look like himself. He would have lived off of monitors and stuff like that. It's okay. I understand the whole thing. I get it. It just, it's just hard sometimes. No, the day I got engaged, and I always thought that my dad would be the one that walked me down the aisle. My stepdad did, and that was great. Don't get me wrong. Please don't get me wrong. My stepdad is also great. He's a great guy. He doesn't have any kids himself, and I'm not too sure why, because he's a great grandparent. He loves all the grandkids between me and my sister so much. He's such a good grandpa. I can't, just for a guy with no kids, I don't know, he's just great. And I think he would have made a good dad. Well, I mean, he was my stepdad, but anyway, that just sounds worse than it was. Okay, I need to calm down here. I will see him again one day. Okay, well, this is my glitter mix. Sky blue purple was his favorite color, so that's what I tried to go by. And hope you ladies enjoy. I'm sorry I got all choked up, guys. I'm a baby. But this is a hard swap to do. So maybe I can find something white, huh? Show you guys what it really looks like. I have a card here that I was working on. Let's use it. And there goes all the micro beads. The light suckies. But thank you ladies for watching, and I'll talk to you all later. Thanks for stopping at Mandy's place.